Welcome to this new video. This video is regarding one of the important topics in Power BI, that is cascading slicer without any bidirectional relationship. So the title name might be difficult to understand, but it is a simple concept. It simply means that, okay, suppose you are having two slicers, that is city and country, and we need to get the sales with respect to the product. And if you select the country, you will see the visual will be filtering with respect to the country. So at the same time, the city also should be filtered. So if you select a country US and you are seeing here the state city somewhere in UK city, so that means, okay, the city is not getting filtered. You need to get the city also right. So there are certain times when it won't get filtered. That means the slicers won't get filtered if you have more than one slicer. So how it happens? So in this case, if you see country and city, if you select one country, Afghanistan, the city slicer should get filtered and show the city values of the country Afghanistan. So this happens properly. Why? Because you see in the model, the location, city and country are on the same dimension table. But at the same time, if you see the year, if you select the year, when you select the year, this might not get filtered. Only the visual will get filtered. The country and city slicer won't get filtered. Why? Because you see the calendar is in a different dimension table and you don't have an exact relationship with the location. The calendar doesn't have an proper relationship with the location, and the direction also, if you see, it is one directional. So the calendar will get, you can filter sales table with the calendar, but you can't filter the location with the calendar. If you see in this table, okay, this customer is having bi-direction, so that means, okay, you can filter both the sides. Here everything is unidirectional, so you can't filter it back. You can see an example of it. I have certain visuals that are prepared. So we'll get the visuals and we'll have the data. And in this is a slicer. We will select the country to that. And this is the slicer for city. We will select the city for that. And you have to remember city and country are both in the same table. So whenever you select one country, the city will get filtered. And this one is going to be the calendar. So we will be getting the year as well as the month. And here we will get the product name and total sales. And here we will be getting the category name and the total sales. Here we will simply select the country and the total. So the visual is ready, and now we can see what the cascading is. So we are going to select Afghanistan, and here everything is coming properly. Okay, this slicer is getting filtered and the values are shown here. And suppose we are going to select the calendar filter. You're going to select 2003 June. In 2003 June, no values are there, no sales are there, but still you can see all the country and all the cities are shown. Actually, when you don't have any values here, there is no need for you to select from here, isn't it? If you select also, you won't get any value. So here you should get blank slicer. So why it is not happening is because you don't have a connection between this calendar table and this country and city table. So how to get the connection? You can go to the model view, and here you see calendar is in a different table and location is different. So you can go to the location properties and you can cross filter direction. You can change it to both. Okay. And now if you go and select 2003 June, here also it is showing null. So the problem is you can't simply change the model. You can't go and change the model, these properties and all. It should be unidirectional. You can't simply change it to both, because when you go for filtering in a different way, the values might get changed and you might get the wrong values. So you can't do that. You can't change anything in the model. So better to have some other logic for it. So what is the logic for it? So one way is that you can create a measure for that and check. You can create a measure whether the country is having any values. So for that, we can create a new measure and you can name the measure as empty equals to, you can just check is empty, whether the sales is empty in that table. This is the sales table. So whether that is empty, you can check it. So now you can drag and drop it into this table. This table, I am just showing it to check all these values or whether it is correct or wrong. So you haven't selected any slicer. That means everything is false. Empty is false. That means the false, which is the value here, is means, okay, there is something value is there in these countries. And suppose you are going to select 2003 August. You can see there is no sales here. So the empty is true. So there is no sales here. So at the same time you are selecting January in 2003, you can see there is mixed values here. That means in Afghanistan there is some sales happened, but in Albania there is no sales happened. See, you can see the blank here, and you can see that the value is true. So only true and false you will get. Whatever values, whatever sales value is there, you will get it as false, and whatever sales value is zero, you will get it as true. So that means only, okay, in Albania no sales has happened, but in the country slicer you see Albania is present. So you need to remove this Albania. So how you can do that? You can do the same thing. You can just change this empty measure to an integer. So true and false, if you change to integer, you will get it as 0 and 1. So you can write it as filter slicer equals to int. This is the casting for changing the value to int, and you can write it as int is empty and the fact table. So you need to remember false will come as 0 and true will come as 1. Wherever false is there, exactly that value will be 0, and wherever the true is there, the value will be 1. So one thing is that we can use this logic to filter the table. That means you can select this slicer and you can select whichever value is 0 only. You can filter this slicer with respect to the 0 values, or you can filter this with respect to the true values only. So you can select this country, you can take this filter and you can move it to this filter, and here instead of less than you can say it as 0. Only the values with 0 you need to have, and okay, you have applied. So if you see here in January Albania was there, now it is not seen here, so that means they have taken it out. The same thing you have to do it for city also. So filter slicer, you can give it here and you can use 0 and you can apply. So there also it will be done. So in that way, you can exactly filter both the sides. Here the problem is, another problem is that in this slicer, if you see, when you go to August 2003, there is no values, but still the items are shown in the slicer. So for avoiding this, here also you can filter it. You can move it to here and you can make it 0 itself. If it is 0, you can filter. So that means take this August, only the months which is having any value is being shown. So all the slicers are filtered and all the slicers are organized properly. So right now, if you are selecting 2002 March, you see 2022 January is not seen here. Earlier it was shown because January was not having any values. No, so now they have taken it off. So if you select March, you can see in Albania 118 is there. It is not empty, that is, it is showing false. But at the same time, Afghanistan, nothing is there. It is actually empty. That is true. So when you come to this slicer, you are not seeing any Afghanistan or any city with respect to the Afghanistan. You are seeing only the one which is having any sales. That means first two, then the third, Aruba. See, exactly the same way it is shown here. Brazil it is shown, that means okay, Brazil is having some values. So in this way, you can overcome the slicer issue without changing anything in the modeling part, but you can overcome with some measures and you can make it exactly filtered in both the sides of the slicer. Hope this was a meaningful video. Have a nice day.